And cross my heart, you say, took a pandemic just to make that FaceTime call. Probably should have made last fall. Didn't yesterday. I say I'll do that tomorrow. That's an everyday thought. That really, really resonated with me because just a couple of weeks ago, I put out a tweet like that. That was basically like, before I even heard the song, make that how you doing text that you keep saying that you're going to make every day. And literally the day after I made that tweet, a friend of mine from college who I hadn't spoken to in years died. So like, that was like a huge kind of like wake up call for me where now like almost every week I make like a list of people that I'll be like, hey, I haven't, spoken to this person in a long time. Let's check up on them. How are they doing? So for you, like just that's kind of like a everyday sort of thought. How do these everyday thoughts or these concerns become like these relatable lines in songs for you? Like, how do you come up with that idea and be like, I'm going to drop that in a song?
Honestly, I wish some of the lyrics that I came up with, like I would be able to take more credit for, like as far as like, oh, I geniusly like put them together. A lot of times the lyrics like that one are just a stream of thought, like a first line that's a stream of thought. And then somewhere, like, honestly, I don't know how this happens in my brain, but like another thought that rhymes with it will just build on top of it. Mm-hmm. And the next line will come and the next line will come. And before you know it, a full verse is done. And there's like little gems inside of there. Cause I think those ideas are rolling around in my head and they're just looking for a time to come out.
Yeah.
But that's like the creative process for me is it's like, just get started. And I was like, all right, what's a thing I'm thinking and feeling right now? Damn, it took a world emergency, like a pandemic for me to like pray again. And I was like, that's an interesting thought. I bet other people have felt that. And once you do that, like the next part comes. So, but there are times when I have like a lyric, like a thought. I'm like, this needs to be said. This is important. And then I'll keep that as the fourth line, and then I'll build the rest of the verse backwards, basically, to build up to that moment. But a lot of my music, the way I write, particularly now, is a stream of consciousness where I don't even write. Like there's nowhere that verse exists on paper because I just sat in front of the mic and just started flowing and then punching in and just building on top of it. That's how a majority of my music is made now. I don't actually write anymore. I just kind of freestyle and think on the spot and record it.
And then you tweak it.
Exactly.
To make it make sense.
Yeah. And I've been doing that since like probably 2016. I started doing that, 2017, Magic and Bird,
Like you would think you'd notice that maybe your music lyrically might get worse, but for you, it's like you've uncovered a whole new layer. And you're like, oh, I guess that's why Jay-Z does this. Like, that's why he's so good. Like,
and it wasn't even to try to mimic Jay-Z.
Yeah, right.
Just like,
but
that's
he's someone who does that.
Trajectory of someone who does it a lot is like, this is actually faster to get my thoughts out this way than to write. Because it's almost like when you're starting out, like you need framework to help you figure out. And then once you know it, you're like, all right, I can get rid of that and just go. Like I might not need the paper that got the grids on it anymore to draw a straight line because I'm so good at drawing a straight line. You can get rid of that and I'll paint. Now I'll break the rules a little bit, But at first, writing is that like, I want to remember my lyric. I want to make sure this word rhymes with this. So I think it's just kind of a natural evolution. And a lot of these guys, especially like the trap rappers, like they've never written, but they're not focused on.
You could tell a lot.
Yeah, I think it's different when you're what you're saying is you're a person who cares about lyrics and you still don't write them down.
Yeah,
that's an interesting thing. If you don't care about lyrics, you just rhyming and saying things, then obviously that makes more sense. So I guess, it is strange, but I don't know. It's the format right now, but it's
working.
I don't know. Like, this stuff changes every few years. You get inspired, or like I sit down to record now. I never stand up. Put the mic right here while I'm sitting and I talk. And I think that's why my tone has also come down. I used to be up here, real loud, aggressive, and I was standing up. And now I'm just like, all right, we done
So,
with that. I'm sitting, I'm talking to you. So the tone has
yeah,
changed.
it's more conversational.
Absolutely.
What you just did there actually just came to my head. That seems like a reverse of what Eminem did, where when he first started, he was just like talking and it was like offbeat. Now he just yells at you. So maybe now Eminem is actually standing up in the booth and rapping, whereas before he sat down. He
Right.
flipped it.